You've got Wangu and Gibson deep, and we are underway. NFL season is upon us. Wangu, the return man, he's thrown down at the 35-yard line, and that's where the Jets will set up shop. 4-2 with Fields as the starter. He was then replaced by Russell Wilson. First play from scrimmage, it's Breece Hall. He's got a hole, and Hall's got a first down into Steelers territory. 18-yard rip to open the season. Tackle made by Jalen Ramsey.
Right out of the gate, this offense said they wanted to be physical, said they wanted to get the running game going. Aaron Glenn is big on that, and this offensive line runs right behind that left side. Olu Fashanu and Breece Hall with a big rip.
For this franchise. Motion man Arian Smith, and it's Hall again, zigzag move. They call them the Killer Bees. Now it'll be Braylon Allen getting the nod. Spin move, very close, not quite enough. Alex Highsmith ranges over. This is now a 3rd down and 1. Allen remains in there. Jets trying to keep this drive alive. It's the push. Fields gets it and then some. So that's the other element to this Jets offense. First possession of the day, first throw. Fields sliding. Garrett Wilson has got it. Best days of his life when he got the news. Hall up the gut. They are running the ball very effectively. It's a 4-yard gain. Patrick Queen. 7th play of the drive. First down inside the 20. Braylon Allen. Physical play up front. TJ Watt ready for him. 2nd down and 9. Shotgun on a give. Allen is buried behind the line of scrimmage by Watt. Loss of 2.
So one way you try and slow down these great edges is you do a zone read. Put them in limbo. Don't let them know exactly what's about to happen. And they try to do that. Justin Fields is reading him. He just makes the wrong read right there. And when you stay...
Fields trying to make sure everybody's on the same page here. It's a run to Davis. And he picks up 4. Hennessy to snap it. The hold from McNamara. And the field goal is good. And Nick Folk will kick it off. Kenneth Gainwell came over from the champion Philadelphia Eagles. Caleb Johnson's the rookie from Iowa. He's the return man. Stumbling a bit, stood up, and dropped at the 28-yard line. I'm going to say the former, just instinctually, but I don't know. There's Rodgers on first down. Pressure, and he's brought down. Quinnen Williams gets home.
Right out of the gate, Quinnen Williams, big 95. You're going to see him come up the center. He goes inside to start, but then rips back outside and takes down Aaron Rodgers. Quinnen Williams talked to us this week about how he wanted to play the run better. He didn't feel he played it well last year. Well, he played the pass all right, and he played the pass all right there.
A good friend for him in stopping the run. Shotgun on 2nd and 14. It's Gainwell. Carries a body with him or 2 and picks up. Rodgers just got the snap off, and he snaps a pass for a first down. Hits Freiermuth, the tight end, to move the chains. For any age. On the ground, Jalen Warren just got a new extension. Named the #1 running back for this team with Najee Harris now with the Chargers. No gain on that play. 6:25 to go here in the first. Rodgers, it's dropped. DK Metcalf. 6:20 to go here. Rodgers, he'll throw it out in space. Metcalf gets to the outside. First down. Perimeter.
That is what a good quarterback is going to do, especially with one of the veteran guys. He wants to get involved. He has a tough drop on the play before. Go immediately back to him, get his confidence back up, and a beautiful catch and run by DK down the sideline.
Jets were blitzing. Gainwell with a key block. 3-0 lead for the Jets. Fake the handoff. Rodgers, flip, underneath, catch made. Jonnu Smith coming off a Pro Bowl season. 2nd down and 4. It's Gainwell. So we're seeing what they think of Kenneth Gainwell. He has been a big part of this opening drive. Ninth play of the drive. Little toss. Gainwell stops on a dime. He tried to get low, but the Jets were there. And he said some of what he's doing now is similar to what he did in Buffalo. He just had to clear some of the cobwebs. Play action. Rodgers on time. Skowronek. Touchdown. Aaron Rodgers leads the Steelers for an opening drive score here in 2025.
This is the Arthur Smith offense. It is play action, getting tight.
The receiver is known as Benny Sko. More for his special team talents, but the Steelers getting him involved early.
I feel like the odds would have been pretty good on Ben Skowronek, first touchdown scorer.
Boswell kicks it off. Gibson now is the return man. Gibson. Oh, he slips through, but then slips down.
Was he touchdown?
The ball did pop free. The question was whether or not he was touched going down. The Jets have it. And they're going to mark him down at the 45-yard line.
It's going so fast, he took himself down.
So there's a seam there, then runs into his own man.
See, I think that's...
Operating out of the gun, Fields. Fields spin. Fields run. And it gets out of bounds.
Terribly often, but it has been rainy here in MetLife Stadium, so certainly something to watch.
Fake the handoff, Fields. And that pass is complete to Garrett Wilson. Pistol formation here for the Jets. Hall. Juke move. Hall. He got brought down by the ankles. Alan Lazard is a healthy scratch at wide receiver. Tyler Johnson in from the practice squad. In stride, it's Hall. Good hands from Hall. Patrick Queen, 3rd down and 2. Quick snap. And a straight ahead run for Hall is good enough for a first down. They pick up 4.
When we're winning games, we're going to have that.
30 seconds to go here in the first. Fields, great protection. Deep ball on the way. Rainbow is caught. Garrett Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. He beat Slay on the play.
What a throw by Justin Fields. Here we've been talking about the run game. We've been talking about how they're going to establish that. And then he goes up and over the top to his newly paid wide receiver.
They signed him to the 4-year, $130 million contract, locking up him and Sauce Gardner. Extra point. Uh-oh. Folk missed it. This was an issue last season, but there is a flag down. Long-time referee, one of the best.
Illegal formation. Receiving team. 7 men on one side of the line. 5-yard penalty, retry.
Now the option here, you could go for 2. It's Allen. And he's short. They're trying to push the pile. Didn't get there. Play is whistle dead. The Steelers stop the Jets.
I defer to you. You were teaching me all about that type of stuff yesterday.
I was. And you didn't, at some point, wanted to hear about it anymore. You're like, I'm good. Caleb Johnson, the return man. Ball pop free. He got crushed at the 27.
Helmet on ball. Always going to make it difficult for the returner to hold on to it when you put the crown of that helmet right on the football.
And when your last name has the word ball in it, pretty good bet you were involved. It's Marcelino from the 28. Rodgers, fake the handoff, nice move upfield. Metcalf is explosive. Out of bounds. Andre Cisco trying to chase him down. That's the second time in the first quarter where Metcalf has created after the catch.
A little RPO. Aaron Rodgers feels the blitz coming, so he...
Motion man, Hayward. Back to pass. Rodgers in some trouble, gets rid of it. And nobody there.
Outside the tackle box, we're going to have to see.
just underway here in the second quarter. 2nd and 10. Gainwell could not turn the corner. The Jets sprint to the ball with Michael Carter II leading the way. It has been a whole lot of Gainwell. Rodgers, quick toss, Jonnu Smith. He gets tackled as he crossed the 40-yard line. Steelers are in no man's land. Right now, looking at a 56-yard field goal. Quick snap, approach, Boswell's kick. It's good. Steelers regain the lead. So the Jets did not hit on that two-point conversion when they ran it into the line to Braylon Allen, and that allowed the Steelers. For the Jets special teams, Wangu is questionable to return with a hamstring issue. So Arian Smith is now in there. Gibson is the return man, and he gets walloped as he crossed the 30-yard line. Fields, he's going to keep it, and ducks out of bounds. And that's exactly where they'll go here on a 2nd and 4. Fake the pitch. Fields. It gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
He learned that from somewhere.
From the gun. Fields looking. Fields throwing. Tight window. There was a bobble, and it's really close for Ruckert. That spot was really close. Fields, sidearm toss, underneath pass. Hall, he's got blockers, and he's got speed. Breece Hall emerging to the 25. Juan Thornhill helped save a score.
Tanner Engstrand flexing his muscles a little bit here. You got Breece Hall in the backfield. Why not use him? Just sling it out there and let his legs.
The Jets going very quickly here as they spot the ball at the 25. On the quick snap and go, Breece Hall. Not much room to work. They'll give him 2 yards. Motion man Mason Taylor, rookie tight end from LSU. Fake the handoff. Fields turns the corner and gets out of bounds. There's a rhythm right now for the Jets on offense.
This is exactly what we just talked about. Put the edges in limbo. You don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to hand it? Is he going to pull it? And you got to give credit to Mason Taylor, the young rookie tight end. Did a great job blocking there. The corner comes a little too far inside.
Allen in the backfield. Handed to him. Allen bulldozing. And he is right there and in for the touchdown. That's what the Jets are trying to establish to Braylon Allen.
The right side of this offensive line did a fantastic job just getting push off the ball. And then the thing I like to see is they're establishing the identity Aaron Glenn wants. Watch all these offensive linemen come and push this pile. You see Beck in there. You see the other offensive linemen come in. That's the identity that Aaron Glenn has been trying to establish, and that's something that he is going to be very. A lot of live periods, a lot of real tackling drills, some of those things that, yes, there's some risks that comes with it, but there's also a lot of reward.
Yeah, that one is dead solid perfect for Folk. Yeah, we'll check that. 10:03 mark of the second quarter. Jets kick it off to Caleb Johnson. And Johnson has stood up and dropped at the 28-yard line.
You think you know what's going to happen. You think you know it might be a low-scoring game, a run-the-ball game, and then you got 16-10 already.
Turn it to the outside, and Jalen Warren, he spilled out after the gain of 2 by Michael Carter II. Gainwell is back in there. This is a 2nd and 8 now for Pittsburgh. Rodgers, little flip, good field for Gainwell, and he's hit along the sideline. Play clock is winding down. Rush is on. Rodgers step. Rodgers is sacked back at the 29. Will McDonald. He's got quickness, he's got bend, he's got the length and spin moves all in one.
This is just a great job of bull rushing, getting to the...
And our first punt of the day comes at the 7:52 mark of this second quarter. Not much of a rush on Corliss Waitman. Gibson, the return man. And there was Skoranek right there to greet him. Fair catch brought in cleanly. And the Jets, 7:47 to go, second quarter. Motion man, Arian Smith. Rushes on, Fields delivers a strike to Wilson. So the chemistry going back to the college days.
So far, I think a great mix. They've given him the right opportunities, not asking him to do it all the time.
Breece Hall tried to loop it inside, 3-yard pickup to the 40. Check in with Evan.
83 yards rushing already. You better have those conversations quickly.
2nd and 7. Crushed. T.J. Watt. Shot out of a cannon. So, it was Hall who had the carry. Fields.
You saw T.J. Watt switch sides there.
Fields rifles. It's caught. The timing was there for Tyler Johnson. Steelers made an aggressive play at the ball.
Job stepping up here. T.J. Watt rushes up, gets a little bull rush. Fields finds a gap, steps up and delivers a strike. He's moving well and he's throwing well.
So it was Juan Thornhill who had the coverage and went down on the play, which allowed Johnson to gain extra yards.
When Alan Lazard was made inactive.
Johnson won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This play whistled dead and a timeout taken. Unless it was double zero.
Offense number 7. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So run out of time, and a team that was the most penalized in the NFL last season. So 1st and 15, move it back 5 yards. Fields, season opening, takes it and slides down. Backup quarterback, and then would come in spot duty on certain plays. Hall, a beautiful move by Hall. He got hit from behind to pick up 8. 3rd and 1. Allen, short yardage situation is in there. And Fields slips. Steelers fully prepared. Peyton Wilson there to make sure Fields didn't get up. Loss of 4.
You're going to see Alex Highsmith. He's going to go down and take the dive. And then you've got Wilson, who's going to take Justin Fields. It's a perfect solution for it because no matter what he does, give or...
From 51 yards away. The kick from Folk, and he massages it through. Jets take a 19-10 lead.
Massages it.
A little bit.
Oh, that could go well in certain jobs. Others,
not so much. Kickoff from Folk, and Caleb Johnson is going to take the knee and at over 127 per game. Warren in there. Rodgers fakes it to him. That pass is high. It's handled. Metcalf, it's incomplete. Long count for Rodgers. Rushes on. Rodgers gets rid of it. Finds the open man. Down the sideline, Calvin Austin. So that's been a question for the Steelers. Who other than DK Metcalf can be a part of the passing game at the wide receiver position?
Yeah, and they really like Calvin Austin. He's fast, he's quick, he can...
And just like that, the Steelers are at the Jets' 35. Inside run, Warren slicing to the 28. Gainwell in the backfield. Gainwell got a slow start off the line and then could not accelerate. Falls forward. 3rd down and 2. Rodgers extending, and it will be enough. Jonnu Smith with the grab and the first down.
Oh, my brothers are going to be pissed at me for that.
1:12 to go. First down. Gainwell. Oh, he lost the ball, but jumps on top of it. 1:07 on the clock. 2nd down and 10 for the Steelers. Rodgers looks. Rodgers throws. Up in the air. Calvin Austin climbs the ladder. 1st and goal.
What a catch by Calvin Austin. You think of the Steelers offense.
50-50 ball won by Austin. Steelers in business. Handoff. Warren is stonewalled. No gain. 2nd down and goal. Jonnu Smith on the pop pass. He got to the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Arthur Smith is creative, and he makes the right call.
Well, they haven't had much success inside against Harrison Phillips and Quinnen Williams, so what do? They get their guy out on the... Technically a touchdown pass for Aaron Rodgers there.
Extra point from Boswell. Rodgers is one of 5 quarterbacks.
They get something going on the return, and they let Justin Fields spin it a little bit with his one timeout in 32 seconds.
We have had 1 punt in the first half. It came from Pittsburgh. Gibson, return man from the 4. Gibson got ahead of steam, but then slowed down as he crossed the 30-yard line. And we don't know. But it looks like they're going to at least look for something. Fields, you better look out. He does. Fields uncorks it, sideline, catch made, and then Wilson out of bounds.
I clearly didn't catch enough of him to stay as a receiver.
That's right.
Had to switch positions.
Fair point. Fields. Oh, he gets out of it again! But a lot of time coming off the clock, and Fields will just chuck it away.
So, Ian, as a coach, you're standing
After the
there.
play was over, personal foul. Offense number 76. 15-yard penalty, down counts, 3rd down.
The halftime locker room speeches just got a little more fiery as well. You get that adrenaline going, you get a little fight.
There's a hold. Isaiah Davis. And at the 41, more pushing and shoving at the end of the play. There were some words exchanged along the sideline trying to get everybody into it, but it did pick up towards the end of the half, and then we saw a lot of it at the end of the second quarter. Caleb Johnson, the return man, and the Steelers have the football to start this second half.
We've been playing uphill a little bit, and so we have an opportunity to change that. We got to seize it. Coach, thank you. Thank you.
Jalen Warren gets the carry, keeps the legs churning, and picks up 9. First play from scrimmage in the second half. Gain that on 1 play here in the third quarter. Give it to Warren again, and this time he's stopped at the line of scrimmage by Quinnen Williams. Play clock was down to 0-0. And flags are down.
Offense number 8. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
We asked Sauce Gardner, what do you do against Aaron Rodgers? You know him. He said, don't try to be a superhero against him. He'll try to get you to do things that he wants you to do. Rodgers hit as he throws. The pass bounces to his intended target.
Excited that he might have the opportunity. Just missed it there.
So from 2nd and 1 to 4th and 6. No rush once again for the Jets on this punt. Waitman gets all of it. And fair catch called for. Take the handoff. Fields with a rush coming. It's deflected. Nearly intercepted. It was right there for the taking. Keanu Benton could not haul it in. Incomplete. Pistol formation. Hall bounces to the outside and veers out of bounds. On a 3rd and 9 for New York. Wilson, the motion man. Fields. The throw. Wilson tried the catch and curl, but look at the Steelers. They get to the football in a hurry and bring down Wilson, led by Thornhill and Ramsey. That one hangs. Austin gets out of the way. Ball bounces in the air. And the Jets did not allow the second bounce, and a flag comes down. And once again, now pushing and shoving on special teams.
Just can't let it spill
After
over.
the play, personal foul. Kicking, correction, receiving team number 83. 15-yard penalty, 1st down, timeout.
Just after getting out of William and Mary as a wide receiver. The throw, Rodgers, nearly intercepted. Michael Carter II had a beat on it. The intended target, Calvin Austin, here in East Rutherford. Working from the gun, Gainwell gets the call. Gainwell turns it upfield and then gets smashed after the gain of 5. Well, the year is 2025, and Aaron Rodgers just airmailed one over the head of Jonnu Smith, now operating at the Steelers' 34. Fake the run, Rodgers devoured. Will McDonald once again.
A guy they feel could really continue to break out. Will McDonald just finds his way in the backfield once again, up and under the inside of Broderick Jones, and Aaron has no choice but to lay down.
McDonald finished with 10.5 sacks last season. Quick snap, Rodgers, quick throw. He sandwiched it in between two defenders to Freiermuth. Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator, his second year, was the head coach in Atlanta for 3 years. Rodgers, dump off, catch made, but not nearly enough for Gainwell. And when you asked Aaron about it, he said, look, on game day, I'm here to assist and support. If I see something that's glaring, of course I'm going to let it be known, but I'm also going to encourage my coordinators. Gibson gets to the sideline and takes a shot right at the end of the play. We'll have updates for you throughout the season. Hand off to Braylon Allen, and he's spun down immediately by Alex Highsmith. Read it perfectly for no gain. That's all I was looking for. It's a handoff to Hall. And Breece Hall works his way across the 35, picks up 5. And they're going to go empty here with Fields from the gun. On 3rd down and 5, Fields, connection made over the middle to Ruckert. Active today at tight end for New York. Hall back in there, gets the call. Breece Hall, strong cut. Another Jets first down.
You're going to see a really nice cut here off Olu Fashianu's block. Breece just sticks his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and pierces into the heart of the defense. Big, big hole there for him to run through.
He's looking for his first career. First down now at the 36, and penalty flag. Again, that has not been an issue thus far.
If you're averaging 5 yards a carry, you need the ball more.
Ball start. Offense number 16. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it's the wide receiver. Pittsburgh has 37 yards on the ground. And it's Hall. He's got a hole. He's got acceleration. First down, Jets. Inside the Pittsburgh 25, Darius Slay with the tackle. That's a 17-yard gain for Hall.
And something we've been looking to see, you have Breece and Braylon in the backfield at the same time. They hand it to Breece, and he finds a huge lane for a massive first down.
Again, no Vera Tucker.
It's the gap between the left guard and the left tackle.
This time it's Allen. And Allen runs into a wall. T.J. Watt ready for him. So watched a bunch of the preseason. Membu did play in all 3 preseason games. 2nd and 10. Fields sensing the pressure. He's going to dart it. Catch made. Turning it upfield. Garrett Wilson. He's brought down at the 2-yard line. He tried to lunge his body.
What a play, and I have to tell you what I've been most impressed with so far with Justin Fields is his movement finds his guy. Beautiful play.
1st and goal. Fields trying to do it himself, extends for the score. Touchdown, Jets.
$12 for 15, 173, a tud, a rushing tud. Justin Fields put on a show.
I know them better than they know what we're going to do. So he felt good about it just because they're the Steelers. They're going to do it the way that they do it. Under Mike Tomlin. Jets have a 26-17 lead over the Steelers. Folk kicks it off. Rookie return man Caleb Johnson from the 4. And Johnson is chopped down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Pitch it. It's Caleb Johnson. And Johnson with a flag down. The Steelers are now at the 45-yard line. Johnson remains in there. Rodgers is going to throw it. It bounces off the intended receiver. DK Metcalf matched up with. It's a 2nd down and 10 for the Steelers. Rodgers in the pocket, off his back foot. He hits Jalen Warren, and Warren's got room to the sideline. First down.
Stevens slipped a little bit there.
Warren remains in there. Quick snap. The hole opened and it closed, and Warren moved the ball in the right direction for Pittsburgh. Now a 2nd and 7. Rodgers fires it. It's complete. DK Metcalf makes his move and out of bounds. It's been Jawan Briggs, the former Cleveland Brown. Warren got 50 seconds to go. First half, 3rd quarter. Warren.
He sideways it again.
Again, that's part of his repertoire right now.
In 1 yard to go situations. That's just me personally. But of course, it's going to work out fantastically.
On cue.
Yep.
And Warren is slammed down. He's got enough for the first down. Quentin Williams is back in for the Jets.
Oh, wide open.
And he hits. Jalen Warren. Touchdown. Steelers. Perfectly executed. 3rd of the day for Aaron Rodgers.
You put Aaron Rodgers under center. You fake the handoff. You don't even have to fake it, really. Jalen Warren just slips out into the flat. Too tough to cover from that middle linebacker.
Personalities have meshed really well, spent a lot of time together. He's creative, loves input. Their process is very streamlined and collaborative.
And have him believe me. So I have to challenge myself to be a better coach, and he's really enjoyed that.
Kick from Boswell. Gibson returning. And, he loses the ball! The bobble and turnover!
Gainwell.
The cough up by Gibson, and the Steelers take over.
Wow, just gets a hand on the ball. Skoranek right there to cover it up. What a change. You felt the Steelers fans, the terrible towels, come alive. Massive momentum changer here in MetLife.
And Mike Tomlin's squad with a chance to pounce on it now. They take over. Warren in the backfield. Give it to him. Warren. Extra cut. And he spun down inside the 20. Tied for first with Minnesota. They had 17 interceptions. Fake the handoff. Rodgers under a rush. Wide open. Touchdown. Calvin Austin. Aaron Rodgers comes back to Jersey.
Again, you give it up to Arthur Smith. A little play action. Calvin Austin just slips Brandon Stevens there. Finds an open corner of the end zone. And of course, Rodgers is going to put it right on him for the touchdown. Great play design, great execution by the Steelers offense.
That is 4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Boswell curls it through. Turnover on the return by Gibson. The Steelers turn that into 7 points. Gibson gets another crack at it here. Spun and down just short of the 34-yard line. First player with 4 passing touchdowns in consecutive games on different teams. It's Breece Hall. Motion man is Garrett Wilson. Keep it on the ground. The spin, and Hall is slowed down and dropped. T.J. Watt, the first one there. It's a loss of 4.
Just slashes inside. The tight end's trying to block down on him. He comes through that C gap between the tackle and the tight end.
Shotgun for Fields. Fields. Direct target over the middle. He puts some mustard on it to the veteran Josh Reynolds.
To say Justin Fields is just a running quarterback. He's looked great in the pocket. Delivered some strikes. Kept his eyes downfield. Evan, that's a really good point. Talking about it being the first game. Guys haven't played a full game, especially if you didn't get the preseason reps.
Fields finds his man downfield. He just tossed it to Mason Taylor, the rookie from LSU, for 20 yards, his first career catch.
You've been waiting to see it all day.
The outstanding linebacker from the Dolphins. Fields, shake and bait. And Fields gets the angle. High kicks it to the sideline.
He's just growing and learning.
2nd down and 5. It's Hall. The defense had committed, and you could feel short yardage situation. 3rd and a long one. Fake it to Allen. Fields hurdles for the first down. He got hit from the side and a flag down. Another flag.
Personal foul, low block, offense number 5. 15-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
And that is a crusher for the Jets. Garrett Wilson. 1st and goal at the 5. On a give. And Hall falls forward for 1. Shotgun, Fields. Fake it, and Fields under a heavy rush. He's mauled down. Alex Highsmith gets to the quarterback.
Well, Lou Fashanu had not given up a sack in his entire college career, but he's going to give one up here to Alex Highsmith. He just comes up and under. So quick.
This is now a 3rd and goal. Back it up to the 10. We're down to 7.5 to play in the 4th. Fields steps up. Fields looking to run. Fields has room. Can he get there? No! Now what do you do? Brandon Echols, the former Jet, saves a touchdown.
Oh, he tried for the Superman, for the pylon.
4th and goal from the 1. Hall in the backfield. Fake it, and it's Fields.
There it is. There it is.
By himself for the touchdown. Jets take the lead.
Just so fast. Just so fast. Fake the handoff. Everybody's obviously committed to the inside run.
Fields operating from the gun. Snap it to him. Fields to throw it. High in the air. Back in the end zone. And incomplete. The kickoff here from Folk, with the Jets now leading at 32-31. Return man Gainwell from the 5. Gainwell makes a cut. Gainwell slowed down a bit. Still on his feet. And then gang tackled as he crossed the 35-yard line. And open up at the 37-yard line. Rodgers, the quick throw, but Kenneth Gainwell, he got suffocated by Sherwood. It's a loss, a big one on the play of nearly 6 yards.
Great job here by last year's leading tackler. Jamie Sherwood just sheds his block and lays a nice.
We approach 6 minutes to go. Shotgun, Rodgers rushes on again, and Rodgers nearly intercepted. It goes through the hands of Brandon Stevens, the free agent pickup from Baltimore.
Jets have everybody up. Are they going to bring them all, or are they going to bail everybody out? Bring it.
3rd and 15. Rodgers.
Brought it.
He's dumped. Quincy Williams. Rodgers helped to his feet. That was a futile set of downs for the Steelers.
Gainwell had a great block to start, but Quincy Williams just fought through it and sacks Aaron Rodgers big time here. This place is buzzing once again. The Jets have brought the momentum.
And the punt from Waitman didn't get all of that. Does take a Steeler bounce, and then Gibson just ducks out of bounds, not taking any chances. 182 on the ground. Bill Vinovich.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 37. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's a good question to ask Aaron.
He deferred.
Yeah.
First down, Fields. Underneath pass is caught by a former Lion, Josh Reynolds, for 5 yards. Quickly tackled by Echols.
You want to bleed the clock out here at the end of the game? This could be a chance to show it.
Breece Hall accelerates for 2. Tackle made by Hayward. This is a 3rd and 3. Fields avoids the first, but couldn't avoid the second wave. And the Steelers come through with Pittsburgh sending safeties. Clark, Thornhill all over it, a loss of 2.
Highsmith started it out, just missed the tackle, and then Chuck Clark against his former team.
They use as much clock as possible. Bit of a rush. McNamara gets a good one off. And Austin, fair catch called for. And he brings it in at the 18. Rodgers. And that's a catch for Freiermuth. From the gun, Rodgers sets and throws. And a flag down. Contact. It was Stevens against Austin.
Yep, Austin had a step. Stevens just grabbed.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Rodgers. And that ball knocked around and ends up in the hands of Metcalf. That's an 11-yard reception. And the Steelers closing in on field goal range. They're there. Calvin Austin with the catch. Rodgers, quick hitter, catch by Smith. But the Jets sniff it out. Brings up 3rd and long now for the Steelers. This was the 11-yarder to DK Metcalf. How?
Just bobble ball, just bouncing all around. Somehow he's laying on the ground and ends up with it.
3rd down and 11. Rodgers, he will throw it. Sideline toss, up in the air, incomplete. Calvin Austin with Brandon Stevens. And now Pittsburgh has to make a decision.
They're looking for a flag. Little hand fighting there.
A 60-yard attempt. It would be a new career long for Boswell. For the lead, sweeps the leg, 60-yarder. He's got it. Pittsburgh goes in front with 1:03 on the clock. So consistent. 2-time Pro Bowler. And he nails it from long range for our 7th lead change of the day.
That had some distance on it. That was good from plenty.
So now the Jets will get the football. An exhale, sigh of relief. Gibson and Smith are back deep. And it's going to be the rookie. Arian Smith on the return. Smith's got major speed, but he gets taken down. Well, that target line for the Jets on the Pittsburgh end of the field to give Nick Folk a chance. Fields, high throw, and it's handled by Tyler Johnson. Off the practice squad and contributing here.
You have to hand that ball to the official or at least try and spot it yourself. Save a couple seconds here.
They pick up 7. Fields hanging tough in the pocket. Fields taking time. Downfield throw! Incomplete! Jalen Ramsey makes the play against Josh Reynolds. Fields steps up, and Fields is hit as he threw the football. Fields on 4th down. Steps up. Fields delivers. Catch made. And the ball is jarred loose. Garrett Wilson could not secure it. And Jalen Ramsey has slammed the door shut.
Teammates then making a hit like this to end the game. Game on the line. 4th and 3. Coming up with a massive, clean hit to end the game. What a ball game. What an absolute ball game these two teams have put on for us today.
Those two players were jawing at the end of the first half, and it's Ramsey who wins the battle. He lifted Wilson in the air to make that hit and dislodge the ball. It would have been enough for a first down, and the drive would have continued. Instead, 29 Pro Bowls acquired by the Steelers during the offseason, and it pays off in the end. Aaron Rodgers gets a win in his first game as a Steeler. The offense did its job, but the defense put the exclamation point on this one. 34-32. The Steelers defeat the Jets in the season opener.